Ladies and gentlemen, it is such a joy to be with you today. I want to talk to you about something that's on the hearts of so many relationships and the people we surround ourselves with. You see, not everyone in our lives is meant to stay, and that's okay. There are certain behaviors we encounter, behaviors that show us loud and clear who is truly there for us and who isn't. You may have people in your life right now who don't give you the respect, love, or support you deserve, and it's important to recognize these signs. I'm here to tell you today how to identify 8 behaviors of people who don't truly care about you so you can move forward stronger and more confident than ever before. It's time to take back your power. Focus on those who lift you up and let go of the negativity that's holding you back. Are you ready to make a change in your life? Let's dive in. When we talk about relationships and the people we allow into our lives, it's important to understand that true support is not just about being there during the good times. It's about showing up when it matters most during the challenging moments when you need encouragement, strength, and someone to lean on. People who don't truly care about you will consistently fail to provide the support you need, leaving you feeling isolated and unsupported. Support isn't just about offering a shoulder to cry on or lending a hand when it's convenient. It's about being there for you even when it's difficult. It's about the little things, the consistency, the efforts to check in on you or to offer a word of encouragement when they know you're struggling. When someone truly cares about you, they make an effort to be part of your life even when things aren't perfect. They care about your well-being beyond just the surface level, and they'll go out of their way to help you no matter the circumstances. But for people who don't care, support is conditional. They are only around when it benefits them or when things are going well in their own life. They might celebrate your successes, but when you hit a bump in the road, they're nowhere to be found. It's as if your struggles are an inconvenience to them, something they'd rather not be involved with. You may find yourself reaching out in times of need only to be met with silence or, worse, empty promises. What's even more hurtful is that these people often act like they care when it suits them. They may send a message, offer a few comforting words, or show up for a short while, but when it comes time to make real, sustained efforts, they're nowhere to be found. You find yourself wondering, where are they when I need them the most? And it becomes clear that their actions don't align with their words. True support means showing up consistently, even when it's inconvenient. It means making time for the people you care about, prioritizing their needs, and standing by them in their darkest moments, not just when things are easy or enjoyable. Lack of support can be incredibly painful because it highlights the imbalance in the relationship. You may have been the one who showed up for them time and time again, but when it's your turn to receive the same level of care, they vanish. This behavior can leave you feeling abandoned and questioning your own worth. After all, if someone claims to care about you, how could they not offer the same support and kindness that you've given to them? It can lead to feelings of resentment as you begin to realize that the relationship is not as mutual as you thought. You're giving so much, but you're not receiving the same in return. This lack of support often goes unnoticed by the person who's not offering it. They may genuinely believe that they are doing enough, but it's important to understand that showing up for someone means more than just making an occasional effort. It's about showing up consistently in the big moments and the small ones. It's about being present, emotionally available, and ready to help without needing to be asked or prompted. If someone can't provide this level of support, it speaks volumes about how much they truly care. It's easy to make excuses for people who fail to offer the support we need. We tell ourselves they're busy, they have their own problems, or they just don't know how to show support. But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. If someone truly cares about you, they will find a way to support you, even if it means making sacrifices or stepping out of their own comfort zone. People who care will go above and beyond, even when it's not easy, and they will prioritize your needs alongside their own. What makes it even more challenging is that we often don't recognize the lack of support until we're deep in the situation. We may have been giving our all, expecting the same in return, and only realize over time that the relationship has become one-sided. It's in these moments of realization that the truth becomes evident. They haven't been there when you've needed them the most. They've been absent during the moments that truly matter. And no matter how much you want to believe they care, the absence of support is a clear indicator that their commitment to the relationship isn't as strong as yours. When you encounter people who fail to provide the support you need, it's important to take a step back and assess the situation. Don't allow yourself to be constantly let down by people who aren't willing to show up for you. Recognize that you deserve more. You deserve people who are there for you, who offer real, meaningful support. Not just when it's easy, but all the time. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, those who are ready to stand beside you, and those who are willing to put in the effort, no matter what. The people who genuinely care about you will show up, no questions asked. They will be there through thick and thin because they understand the importance of support in any relationship. When it comes to the relationships we hold dear, one of the most telling signs of whether someone truly cares about us is the effort they put into maintaining that bond. Unfortunately, people who don't care about you often neglect you in ways that are not always immediately obvious, but can leave a lasting impact. Consistent neglect is a subtle but powerful behavior that reveals their true feelings towards you. This can be seen in how they fail to make time for you, disregard your needs, or leave you to fend for yourself, even when you're facing difficulties. One of the most painful aspects of neglect is that it doesn't always happen overnight. At first, it might be a small thing, someone forgetting to check in on you or not making the effort to keep in touch. You tell yourself that they're busy, that life is hectic, and that they probably didn't mean to be distant. But as time goes on, these small moments build up and you begin to realize that the neglect is becoming a pattern. They may say they care, but their actions speak louder than their words. If they truly cared, they would find a way to stay connected, to make sure you know they're thinking of you and to be there when you need them. This kind of neglect doesn't always look like outright abandonment or coldness. Sometimes it's the absence of effort, it's the lack of communication, the failure to show up, or the unwillingness to engage with you in any meaningful way. The most telling part is that it's consistent. You may not notice it right away, but over time, you start to realize that they rarely reach out, never make time to see you, and often leave you to figure things out on your own. When you need support, they're absent. When you need a listening ear, they're nowhere to be found. And even worse, when you express your need for connection, they might offer empty promises to do better but fail to follow through. It can be incredibly frustrating and disheartening when you're the one putting in all the effort to sustain the relationship. You make the calls, send the texts, arrange the plans, and yet they still don't make the same effort to reciprocate. It's like pulling teeth just to get them to show interest in your life or make time for you. You begin to wonder whether they even value the relationship, because if they did, wouldn't they be more present? Wouldn't they care enough to show up when it matters? But with neglect, it's clear they aren't prioritizing you, your well-being, or your connection. Neglect can take many forms, and it often shows itself in small, everyday moments. Maybe they cancel plans last minute, or they don't remember things that are important to you. Perhaps they forget milestones like your birthday, an anniversary, or any of the smaller but meaningful celebrations that help you feel seen and appreciated. These are not just little mistakes, they are signs that they are not paying attention, that they are not investing in the relationship the way they should. If someone truly cares about you, they make an effort to remember the details, to be there for the things that matter to you, and to show up consistently. Neglect is not just about missing big moments, it's about a lack of attention to the day-to-day needs that keep the relationship strong. This kind of neglect can also manifest emotionally. You might find that over time, they stop showing interest in how you're feeling, what's going on in your life, or how they can support you. They may no longer check in on your well-being, and when they do, it feels more out of obligation than genuine concern. If you're struggling with something, they may dismiss it or fail to offer meaningful support. When you're facing challenges, they might act like it's not their problem or that you should just handle things on your own. Emotional neglect is especially damaging because it makes you feel invisible, like your emotions and experiences don't matter to the person you care about. This neglect, while subtle at first, builds over time into a deeper sense of disconnection. The more you try to reach out, the more you realize that the effort isn't reciprocated and the relationship starts to feel one-sided. You're giving more than you're getting, and the imbalance becomes impossible to ignore. It's easy to make excuses for people who don't make time for you. Perhaps they're going through something themselves, or they don't know how to show you they care. But the truth is, relationships are built on mutual respect and effort. If someone truly cared about you, they would find a way to show it. They would prioritize you, they would make time for you, and they would nurture the relationship with the same dedication that you're putting in. One of the hardest things to accept is that the neglect you experience from others often has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of their inability or unwillingness to prioritize the relationship. When you're constantly being neglected, it's easy to start questioning yourself, wondering if you did something wrong or if you're not worthy of their time and attention. But the reality is that neglect is about them, not you. It's about their lack of effort, their inability to nurture the bond you share. You deserve people in your life who make you feel valued, who make you a priority, and who are willing to show up for you when it counts. If you're consistently neglected by someone, it's important to recognize that this behavior is not a reflection of your worth, but a sign that this person is not truly invested in the relationship. Disrespectful behavior is one of the clearest indicators that someone doesn't truly care about you. When someone values and respects you, they show it through their words and actions, creating an environment where you feel safe, appreciated, and heard. But when disrespect enters the picture, it chips away at your self-esteem, creates tension, and makes it difficult to trust the person involved. This kind of behavior comes in many forms, whether it's belittling your feelings, dismissing your opinions, or treating you as if your needs don't matter. People who truly care for you will take the time to understand your boundaries, respect your feelings, and support your thoughts. People who don't care will do the opposite. One of the most damaging forms of disrespect is when someone dismisses your feelings. It can happen in a variety of ways, but the effect is always the same. It invalidates you. For example, when you express something that's important to you, whether it's an achievement, a struggle, or even just a casual conversation, they might downplay it or make light of it. They might say things like, "It's not a big deal," or "You're overreacting," which makes you feel as though your emotions are unimportant or insignificant. This is not just a lack of empathy, it's a direct form of disrespect. If someone truly cared about you, they would acknowledge your feelings, even if they don't always understand them. They would listen and take them seriously because they understand the importance of emotional connection. Another form of disrespect is when your opinions and ideas are ignored or belittled. If someone continuously talks over you, disregards your perspective, or treats your thoughts as unworthy of consideration, it shows a lack of respect for your individuality. People who care about you value your input and seek to understand where you're coming from, even if they don't always agree. They may challenge your ideas respectfully, but they will do so with kindness and an open mind. On the other hand, when someone constantly invalidates your opinions, it creates an unhealthy dynamic where you feel unheard and unimportant. It's a subtle but clear sign that the person doesn't truly care about your voice. Disrespect can also show up in how someone treats you in public. If they belittle you in front of others, make jokes at your expense, or speak to you in a way that diminishes your worth, it's a powerful sign that they don't value you. It's one thing for someone to have a disagreement or a tough conversation in private, but when they do it in front of others, it shows a complete disregard for your dignity. People who care about you will defend you, lift you up, and make sure you feel respected no matter the setting. They won't embarrass you or put you down in front of others to make themselves feel better. They will honor you, not only in private, but in front of the world. Another key element of disrespect is when someone treats you like an afterthought. They cancel plans on you at the last minute, don't follow through on promises, or fail to show up when they said they would. Their actions reveal a lack of consideration for your time and your feelings. If someone truly cared, they would make the effort to prioritize you, to keep their commitments, and to treat your time as valuable. However, when disrespect is present, your needs take a back seat to their convenience, and they demonstrate that your presence in their life isn't as important as they might claim it to be. The way someone speaks to you also reveals a lot about how much they value you. People who don't care about you will often use harsh or condescending language, making cutting remarks that leave you feeling small and insignificant. They might belittle you with sarcasm, make passive-aggressive comments, or use words that sting in an attempt to put you down. These kinds of verbal jabs are clear signs that the person doesn't hold you in high regard. They may claim to care, but their words betray their true feelings. If someone respects you, they will choose their words carefully, speak with kindness, and treat you with the dignity you deserve. Sometimes disrespect manifests in subtle ways that are easy to overlook or rationalize, especially if you're invested in the relationship. They might break promises, cancel plans without a valid reason, or show up late repeatedly without an apology. These actions, while not overtly hostile, communicate that your time and commitment aren't valued. If someone truly cared, they would make an effort to honor their word, to show up for you, and to be reliable. But when their actions show a lack of respect for your time, they are demonstrating their indifference towards you and your needs. At its core, disrespect is a form of emotional manipulation. It creates a power imbalance in the relationship, where one person is constantly made to feel inferior while the other takes advantage of their vulnerability. It's essential to recognize these signs early on and understand that no relationship is worth sacrificing your sense of self-worth. You deserve to be treated with kindness, respect, and dignity. Anyone who disrespects you is not worthy of your time or energy. It's time to set boundaries and remove yourself from relationships that diminish your value and focus on the people who lift you up, who respect you, and who treat you with the love and care you deserve. One of the most noticeable behaviors of people who don't truly care about you is their self-centered attitude. In a healthy relationship, both people take turns offering their attention, affection, and support to each other. It's a mutual exchange. But when someone is only focused on themselves, you start to feel like you're invisible in their life. Their actions show that they prioritize their own wants and needs over yours, leaving you feeling neglected, unimportant, and alone. Self-centeredness manifests in many different ways. One of the most obvious is when the conversation is always about them. If you find that every time you speak, the topic quickly shifts back to their experiences, their problems, or their accomplishments, you might be dealing with someone who doesn't care about you in the way you deserve. They never take the time to listen to your struggles, acknowledge your victories, or show interest in your life. Instead, it's as if your thoughts, feelings, and stories are secondary to their own. This constant focus on themselves not only makes you feel unheard, but it also makes the relationship feel imbalanced. When someone truly cares about you, they are just as interested in your world as they are in their own. They ask questions, they engage with your life, and they support you as much as they support themselves. Another clear sign of self-centeredness is when someone consistently expects you to cater to their needs without ever considering yours. They may demand your time, energy, or attention, but when it's your turn to ask for something in return, they brush you off or make excuses. Their needs always come first and yours are pushed aside. This behavior can be draining because it requires you to constantly give while receiving little or nothing in return. Over time, this imbalance can lead to frustration and resentment. It's important to recognize that healthy relationships require give and take, not just one person always giving while the other takes. A person who truly cares about you will make sure your needs are met as much as their own, finding ways to balance both. Self-centeredness can also show up in their lack of empathy or consideration for your feelings. When someone is too wrapped up in their own life, they often fail to recognize or acknowledge what you might be going through. If you're facing a tough situation and they can't seem to put their own issues aside long enough to offer support, it's a clear indication that they're more concerned about their own emotions than yours. A person who cares about you will take the time to be there for you during difficult times, offering comfort, understanding, and a helping hand. They will make an effort to listen to your concerns, validate your feelings, and offer their support. But if they're more focused on how your situation affects them, or if they can't seem to understand why it's a big deal to you, they aren't giving you the care you deserve. Sometimes self-centeredness is more subtle, and it comes in the form of ignoring or downplaying your achievements. If someone only celebrates their own successes and never takes the time to recognize or celebrate yours, it's a sign that they're not truly invested in your happiness. They might even minimize your accomplishments, making you feel as though your hard work or achievements aren't as important as theirs. True friends, partners, and loved ones will be genuinely happy for your successes, no matter how big or small. They will celebrate with you and take joy in your happiness because they care about your well-being and want to see you thrive. But when someone is self-centered, your wins are irrelevant to them as long as they're not the ones receiving the attention. A self-centered person may also try to control or manipulate situations to serve their own interests. They might pressure you into doing things that only benefit them without considering how it affects you. For example, they may want you to adjust your plans, priorities, or values to fit their desires without any regard for your own preferences or boundaries. This type of behavior is not just selfish, it's disrespectful and harmful to the relationship. It creates an unhealthy dynamic where one person holds all the power and the other is expected to conform. A person who truly cares about you would never try to control or manipulate you. They would respect your autonomy and work with you to find a balance that suits both of your needs. When someone's self-centered attitude dominates the relationship, it's easy to feel used, taken for granted, or even invisible. This constant disregard for your needs and emotions erodes the foundation of the relationship. You begin to realize that their care for you is superficial, and the dynamic becomes one of imbalance and dissatisfaction. You deserve to be with people who make you a priority, who show genuine interest in your life, and who invest in your happiness and well-being. People who truly care about you will make an effort to be there for you just as you are there for them. They will offer support, empathy, and consideration, not just when it's convenient for them, but all the time. If you're constantly in a relationship with someone who is self-centered, it's essential to take a step back and assess whether this person truly adds value to your life. People who don't care about you often fail to show loyalty when it matters most. Loyalty is one of the most essential qualities in any relationship, whether it's between friends, family members, or romantic partners. It is the foundation upon which trust is built, and it is what keeps the bond strong, even in the face of challenges. When someone truly cares about you, they are committed to being there for you in both the good times and the bad. They stand by your side when you need them the most, and they protect and support you, no matter the circumstances. However, when a person doesn't care about you, their loyalty becomes non-existent, and you will often find that they're the first to abandon you when things get tough. One of the clearest signs of a lack of loyalty is when someone chooses to leave or distance themselves when you face difficulties or challenges. In tough moments, it's easy for people to bail out or disappear, especially if they have no real emotional investment in the relationship. They may start avoiding you, making excuses, or pretending they don't see your pain. Someone who truly cares about you will not abandon you during times of struggle. Instead, they will offer their help, their comfort, and their presence. They will stand by you and remind you that you are not alone. But when someone is disloyal, they will prioritize their own comfort over your needs, and they may even disappear entirely when you need them the most. Loyalty is also about trust, and when someone is not loyal, they will break that trust without hesitation. If you've ever had a person who claims to care about you betray your confidence or break promises they made to you, you know the hurt of disloyalty. Whether it's sharing something you told them in confidence or lying to your face, their actions show that they do not value the trust you've placed in them. A loyal person will always respect the boundaries and trust you have shared with them. They will understand the importance of keeping your secrets and maintaining your confidence. But someone who doesn't care will treat your trust with indifference, violating it whenever it suits them. Their actions speak volumes about their lack of commitment to the relationship. In addition to betraying your trust, disloyal people are often quick to speak badly about you behind your back. They may gossip about your personal life or criticize you to others, undermining your reputation and breaking the unspoken rule of loyalty and respect. When someone is disloyal, they will have no problem airing your dirty laundry or exposing your vulnerabilities, often to make themselves feel better or to gain favor with others. True loyalty means defending you when others speak poorly of you, supporting you when your back is against the wall, and always having your best interests at heart. But disloyal people will distance themselves from you when you're not around, all the while pretending to be your friend or partner when you are. Another key aspect of loyalty is standing up for you in the face of adversity. When someone truly cares, they will be your advocate, your ally, and your protector. They will speak up for you when others are being unfair or unjust. A loyal person will not stand by silently while you are being hurt or mistreated by others. Instead, they will use their voice to defend you and ensure you are treated with respect. A disloyal person, on the other hand, will remain silent or even join in the criticism or mistreatment. They might stand by and watch as you are wronged, not because they don't care, but because they don't want to risk losing their position or standing in the group. True loyalty requires courage and conviction, and those who don't care about you will fail to demonstrate either. When loyalty is absent in a relationship, it can feel as though there's a lack of emotional investment. A loyal person is consistent in their support and care, always showing up when needed and following through on their commitments. They are reliable and trustworthy, and their actions match their words. However, someone who doesn't care about you will be inconsistent in their efforts, leaving you unsure of where you stand with them. They may make promises that they don't keep, offer support that never materializes, or show up when it's convenient for them but disappear when they don't feel like it. This lack of follow-through creates a sense of insecurity and instability, making it difficult for you to trust that the relationship will remain solid in the long term. A disloyal person will keep you guessing about their intentions, and you will never feel truly safe or valued in the relationship. It's also important to understand that loyalty is not just about being there when things are difficult, it's about supporting and celebrating each other's successes as well. When someone is truly loyal to you, they will be genuinely happy for your accomplishments, and they will celebrate with you. They will encourage you to reach your goals and cheer you on every step of the way. However, a disloyal person may feel threatened by your success or may even try to undermine your achievements. They may act indifferent, dismissive, or resentful because they are not invested in seeing you succeed. Their lack of loyalty shows through their inability to be happy for you or to support you in reaching your fullest potential. Loyalty is also tied to the ability to stay true to you in the face of external pressures. A disloyal person will often change their behavior depending on the people they are around. They may act differently in public, saying things that contradict what they say to you privately, or they may abandon you in social situations to fit in with the crowd. A truly loyal person, however, will stand by you regardless of the situation. They will remain constant in their support no matter who's around or what the circumstances are. They won't change who they are or abandon you for the sake of fitting in or gaining approval from others. Their loyalty to you is unwavering, no matter the social environment. Loyalty is a cornerstone of any strong, meaningful relationship. It requires commitment, consistency, and a willingness to prioritize each other's well-being. When someone doesn't care about you, they will fail to demonstrate loyalty in these ways, leaving you feeling unsupported, unprotected, and uncertain. Loyalty is not just about being there when it's easy or convenient. It's about standing by each other through thick and thin, offering unwavering support and remaining steadfast even when things get tough. When loyalty is lacking, the relationship becomes fragile, and it becomes clear that the person does not have your best interests at heart. You deserve relationships where loyalty is mutual, where both people are fully invested in each other's success and happiness, and where you can trust that they will always have your back. A lack of communication is one of the most noticeable behaviors that show someone doesn't truly care about you. Communication is the foundation of every healthy relationship. It builds trust, fosters understanding, and keeps people connected. Without proper communication, misunderstandings arise and emotional distance starts to grow. When someone doesn't care about you, they often neglect or avoid meaningful communication, leaving you feeling isolated, confused, and unimportant. One of the first signs of poor communication is when someone refuses to share important details with you, especially about their thoughts, feelings, or intentions. If you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't care about you, they may withhold information or keep you in the dark about things that directly affect your relationship or your life. This lack of transparency creates an environment where you are left guessing, unsure of where you stand or what's truly going on in the other person's mind. It's as if they're putting up a wall, making it hard for you to get close or understand them on a deeper level. Genuine care involves openness, honesty, and a willingness to communicate the things that matter, even when it's uncomfortable. Someone who doesn't care will avoid these conversations and leave you feeling emotionally neglected. Another clear indicator of poor communication is when someone stops making an effort to talk to you. In any relationship, there should be an effort to stay in touch, share experiences, and connect emotionally. However, when someone doesn't care about you, they stop making that effort. They may leave your texts unread for long periods, cancel plans without a reasonable explanation, or fail to initiate contact altogether. This lack of initiative in maintaining communication suggests that they are no longer invested in the relationship or your well-being. They may only reach out when it's convenient for them or when they need something from you, leaving you feeling as though you are only a secondary priority. If someone truly cares about you, they will take the time to check in, ask how your day went, and show genuine interest in your life. But when communication fades or becomes one-sided, it's a clear sign that they are not committed to the relationship in the way you deserve. When communication does happen, it's often superficial or dismissive. If someone doesn't care about you, they may give you short, impersonal answers or brush off your attempts to have a deeper conversation. They might offer a simple "I'm fine" or "it's whatever" when you try to talk about something meaningful or important. These short, non-committal responses show that they are not willing to engage with you on an emotional level. They avoid being vulnerable because they don't see the value in building that connection with you. In contrast, when someone cares about you, they will take the time to explain their thoughts, express their emotions, and dive into the conversation with you. Even if it's a tough topic, they will be willing to have the difficult discussions because they value your relationship and want to maintain an open, honest line of communication. A lack of communication is especially harmful when it comes to resolving conflicts. In any relationship, disagreements are inevitable. However, when someone truly cares, they will approach conflicts with the intention of resolving them in a healthy way. They will listen to your point of view, express their own feelings, and work together to find a solution. But when someone doesn't care about you, they may shut down during a disagreement, refusing to talk about the issue, or worse, resorting to passive-aggressive behavior or silent treatment. Instead of engaging in a productive conversation to resolve the issue, they may withdraw completely or refuse to acknowledge your concerns. This avoidance tactic not only leaves the problem unresolved, but also creates emotional distance between the two of you. It becomes clear that they are more interested in avoiding confrontation than in addressing the issue or maintaining a healthy relationship. Sometimes a lack of communication is not just about what is being said, but also what is left unsaid. When someone doesn't care about you, they may not take the time to express appreciation, offer encouragement, or give compliments. They might not make an effort to recognize your efforts or acknowledge your feelings. This emotional neglect can be just as hurtful as if they were outright dismissive. You start to feel invisible, as though your presence or contributions are not valued. Genuine communication involves not just discussing issues, but also expressing gratitude, giving recognition, and reinforcing the positive aspects of the relationship. Without these affirmations, the relationship starts to feel hollow and unfulfilling. Another sign of poor communication is when someone constantly misunderstands or misinterprets your words or actions. This often happens when they don't take the time to truly listen to you. Instead of engaging in a thoughtful conversation, they may jump to conclusions or assume things about you without asking for clarification. This leads to unnecessary tension, frustration, and confusion, making it difficult to build trust and understanding. If someone truly cares about you, they will make the effort to listen attentively, ask questions when they're unsure, and ensure that they fully understand what you're trying to convey. They won't assume or pass judgment without first taking the time to hear you out. The impact of poor communication is not just about feeling ignored. It can also create a sense of emotional instability. Without clear, consistent communication, it becomes hard to know where you stand in the relationship or how the other person truly feels about you. When communication is absent, you might find yourself overthinking, doubting the relationship, and feeling insecure. You may feel as though you are constantly walking on eggshells, unsure of when the next argument might occur or when they will withdraw again. Healthy relationships are grounded in open and honest communication, where both people feel safe to express their feelings, needs, and concerns. Without this, the relationship starts to crumble and the emotional connection weakens over time. A lack of communication reveals a lack of care. It's the absence of effort, attention, and consideration for the other person's needs and emotions. If someone truly cares about you, they will make communication a priority. They will ensure that you feel heard, valued, and understood, even if it requires patience and vulnerability. But when communication breaks down, it signals that the relationship is in jeopardy and that one or both parties are no longer willing to put in the effort to maintain a strong, meaningful connection. You deserve a relationship where communication is open, consistent, and genuine, where both people actively engage with each other and support one another through both the highs and lows of life.